Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and I'm a first semester nursing student. For today's video, I wanted to share with you what is in my backpack, what I carry with me, and just some organization tips on what I have in there. So, without further ado, let's get started. So this ginormous thing is my backpack. This is the backpack that I use. It's a North Face backpack. I don't know the name of the style, but I just really love it because it has a lot of compartments and everything is able to be organized pretty well. So I have this little hand sanitizer that I have from Bath and Body Works, and it's just convenient. There's no proper way to wash my hands in a given moment, I guess. So yeah, that's what I have on here. And then let's go ahead and start off with a small compartment. So in my smallest compartment, I have this little pouch, and inside of this pouch, I just have little essentials, I guess. So inside of here, I've got a charger, I have chapstick, I have my AirPods, gum, and breath mints, and feminine hygiene stuff, which I don't need to bring out. But I like this little pouch just because it keeps everything pretty secured, and I keep that on the smallest pouch in front just because it's easy to access, and those are usually things that I like to grab quickly. So then in the next compartment, which is right here, I have a lot of pens and just school supply items. So as you can see, this is kind of divided up into different compartments. In the biggest compartment, I have these page tabs, little post-it page tabs, and I like using these when I'm reading different chapters. That way I can just mark pages that are important or pages that I need to review, stuff like that. So I really like the little page tabs. Also, I have tons and tons of pens. So pens, obviously, if you've watched my mini back to school haul, you know the G2s are my favorite, and just a couple Sharpies for different purposes. So in this compartment here, I have tons of highlighters and colored pens, and I just like different colored highlighters and pens to kind of color coordinate my notes and to obviously highlight important keywords or important facts while I'm reading. And the colored pens are really useful when I handwrite study guides and kind of am writing notes that are specific to a certain thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have in this smaller compartment. Just basically pens, highlighters, and things of that sort. So in the biggest compartment is obviously where I hold most of my stuff. So let's show you what's in here. So right on top, I like to carry this little stethoscope case. It's really cute. I got this off of Amazon, and basically what it does is it just holds my stethoscope, bandage scissors, and pupil pen light. And this is just, you know, I hated bringing my stethoscope and just throwing it in my backpack. So this case kind of keeps all of this stuff secure, and this is more so for a lab and clinical, but I typically have this in my backpack as well. So as you can see, this compartment has a little laptop case compartment. So I have my laptop in my backpack basically at all times. I like to follow along on the lecture slides and just any other information that is going to be in lecture or skills lab. So I'm taking a lot of notes on my laptop. So I always have my laptop in my backpack. Next up, I've got my binder. Let me just show you what's in my binder. So on the front, I have all of my lecture schedule and different assignments and things like that. And then on the back side, I have my clinical schedule. And then on the inside, this is basically my weekly schedule with student learning outcomes, different assignments, reading, all of that. So I like to follow that along and highlight what I've done so that I don't do the same thing twice. And then next, so after my schedule, I have just the lecture slides. I personally like to print out my lecture slides, and then that way I can handwrite notes next to each slide. For me, it just happens to be a lot easier, and that way I don't have to take notes and then look at the slides. That way it's just all on the slides and I can compare my notes to what's being taught. after that, I have a complete folder, and this is all for my lecture related items. So any paperwork that pertains just to lecture, I keep in this folder. And then the next folder that I have right here is my clinical documents and paperwork, homework, all of that stuff. So I like to keep the two separated. And then after this folder, I have the syllabus and the student handbook. And I'm not gonna show you guys because that has my school information on there. But it's just good to look back on and know what the protocols and procedures are for my school. So that is my binder. Pretty big and has lots of information, and it takes up a lot of space in my backpack, but you know you need it all the time. The next big thing I have in my backpack at all times is the notorious Fundamentals of Nursing textbook. Basically all of our lectures and clinicals revolve around this textbook. Sometimes I'll have an additional textbook in there with me, but this is the one I usually like to bring to class. A lot of the lecture slides and information that we go over pertains to this book, so I like to have it as a reference guide to look back on and just read when I have some downtime in between lecture or after I'm out of class, all of that stuff. So always got this in my backpack. So next I just have a couple notebooks, and I'll explain what each one is. So I have two spiral bound notebooks. One I like to use just for clinical and lab, and the other one I like to use just for lecture. And this is more just for like jotting down information quickly, or if the instructor is, you know, giving a lecture, I just like to take notes on what they're talking about. I kind of switch off between typing and handwriting, just because sometimes I have my laptop open and it's easy to just type, but other times I just want to quickly jot down information that we went over. And last but not least, I always have to have my trusty planner with me. So this is the planner that I have. I got it from Target, and I like to just jot down, obviously, things that are due the next day. I jot down my monthly schedule as well, so then that way I know what important dates there are in the month. For example, I have some dates and deadlines on my calendar, and I just like to write them out so then from a glance I can see what is due on specific dates. So this is also super important. Other things that I like to keep on my backpack with me at all times is obviously my wallet. And typically I have a water bottle in my water holder side. So that is basically what I carry in my backpack. Leave me a comment below if there's something that you carry in your backpack at all times that you think I should, or just anything in general. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.